All right. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk More on Monday. I'm Arianna, founder and owner of More, where we are working to make opportunities reachable for everyone. Today, I'm really jazzed because I am in this cohort for 1828 through IndyHub, where I feel like it's bragging when we say this. I don't know how you guys feel or how you guys explain what 1828 is, but it's like this cohort of developing leaders who are wanting to learn about our community more, make shit happen, and do it together in a really collaborative way, working just alongside people. And as I was looking at our podcast schedule, I thought it would be super fun to have some people from our cohort join for the podcast. And so thank you guys for one, liking the message, two, being active in the group me, because I don't think everyone is, and for sharing time with me over our holiday break. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to have you guys introduce yourselves a little bit, and then we're going to dive into this 2024 mindset. So Lillian, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can certainly go first. My name is Lillian Barkes. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Listen to Our Future. We service students all across Indianapolis, providing them tutoring for students that can't afford it or don't have the transportation to get there. So that's a little bit about me, and I can pass it down to India.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rhodes. I am currently a human resource representative for Meyer. Um, yeah, I'm going to pass it to Leslie.
No, that's perfect. I like the popcorn too.
Same. Hi, everyone. My name is Leslie Salzaar. I'm the founder and operator of Colores Creative. Colorescreative.co is the communications creative agencies that we help amplify voices of progress. We work primarily with entrepreneurs and with candidates who are running for political office. So it's a lot of fun. And thanks for having us. I'm really excited for this.
Me too. Also, is that a light behind you that says your company?
Yeah, so
that.
my husband is a sweetheart and he got me like the cutest little light. He was like, it was a little more expensive than I thought. He's like, but I had already committed to the idea and I'm like obsessed with it because it gives me like a cute little backdrop. But yeah.
Yes. I love that. Snaps for the partners out there who like get entrepreneurship and want to see you thrive and succeed, because I went to the Women in Business retreat through Indy Chamber, and one of the panels, one of the entrepreneurs, she was talking about like it is a grind for like us as entrepreneurs, but then also like kind of putting some of that responsibility for the household like on somebody else also while you're pursuing it. And it made me so much more grateful and I don't know, not empathetic. I wasn't not empathetic before, but it's like a new lens, you know, because it's like I'm not just pursuing my dream, but you're also understanding like the sacrifice not only on my part but also your part as I like pursue it. India, you're nodding your head a lot. Are you also in the entrepreneurial space?
No, but I have a lot of respect for him. I don't think that I'm not disciplined enough to be a entrepreneur. So,
No, that's fair. I just saw the nods and I was like, wait a second, because we were just saying like we haven't really gotten to like chat it up yet. And
mhm.
so I was like, am I about to find something out about my girl over here that I did not know before? But no, that's awesome. And
But
thank
I'm
you.
really for the supporting spouses. That really makes a difference. So that's why I was not in the light, because if you don't have a supportive spouse, just make anything more difficult that you're trying to do. So
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Okay.
makes things harder, I think, too, because I hear of like horror stories of like partners just like not being supportive at all. And you're
mhm.
just like, oh, I could never, that would make shit so hard.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, partners, even like just like friends, like the people you surround yourself
Mhm.
with, if they're not supportive of you in like your business or your aspirations, what else are they not supportive of you of? So,
Mhm.
shoot. Okay, talking about mindset already. Um, okay, so Leslie, I am curious. You started your company in the last year or two, is that right?
Yeah, so I had filed for my LLC 2 years ago because I was thinking about formalizing my freelancing. I've been doing it for about 10 years on and off.
Mhm.
And I had finally like taken a dive of like, oh, I'm gonna formalize it. People have a connotation of like freelancer and then business owner. It just sounds so much more fancy when it's all really perspective and it's like kind of the same thing. But yeah, so I started it officially a year ago, I would say, under colorescreative.co.
That's awesome. Okay, so going into your, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if my math is wrong. Going into your third year of business then, right?
Yes, but second, this would be my first full year under colorescreative.co.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So how did formalizing the LLC and making that shift from freelancer to business owner, if you will, shape your mindset for this coming year?
A lot. I have hired 2 contractors to help me out. I wouldn't formally call them employees because I don't have them under in that way to be under like a 1099. But I'm just like, I'm so used to doing things on my own and just kind of rolling through my own beats. And I'm so bad about like taking things off my plate. Like, I feel like I'm burdening someone, which it's like, I have to change my mindset of like, shift my mindset that it's not really burdening if I'm paying them. Like, 1, 2, like they signed up for this. So they want the work. It's just changing my perspective of like who I am as like a business owner, quote unquote, and being like a CEO per se, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that taps into like how you lead and like at that point in your business as it grows. I mean, Lillian, at the last cohort workshop, I call them workshops. I don't know what you guys call them. I also feel like it changes every time I try to think of a word for it. But we were talking and you were talking about how you're hiring and you're expanding this coming year. So like what has that been like for you as you look at your goals and your objectives for the year? I mean, personal and business, however you want to take it.
Yeah, definitely. It has been quite the interesting ride. So spring of 2020 is when I quit my job. That was my last school year. And I definitely resonates with me about like walking to the own beat of your drum. And I was certainly like in that position, but I quickly understood that I can't do it all by myself. And we just like, it was like a snowball, just rolling downhill. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I put my whole career on the line for this. Like, I left my job that I loved. And then I was like, okay, like, I got to the point where I just felt like I was constantly sinking. And I think that because you had called me out last meeting about why did you say you work the company that you work for and not the company that you co-founded? And it truly like is this level of imposter syndrome that it's hard to believe as a young person that I was able to start a nonprofit and serve over 300 students every single week. It's hard to believe that I have over 50 tutors now. Like, it's hard to believe that any of these things are actually real. So my word that I clung on to a lot last year was just surrender. Surrendering to whatever you believe that higher power is, whether it's God or Allah or the universe or science, whatever. Surrendering to that because I was just anxious. I was anxious all the time. I felt like I didn't have control. I felt like I, was like this snowball. I couldn't catch it. So that has really been the word that got me through 2023. It allowed me to think about the leader that I need to be for my own organization and what that means for me. And like the type of leader that I also need to be for myself. So that word is really my word for 2023. And as far as, leading me into 2024, it's a lot of the same energy because it got me this far. So might as well not fix it if it's like, why fix something if it's not broken?
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, it is hard, especially when when you start a business and then it takes off faster, or like an organization when it takes off faster than you plan. And side note, I know some people are listening, so you guys can't see our screen right now. India's in and out. I sent her a message. So when she jumps back in, we'll loop her back in on the conversation. But so I might be juggling between screens. But I think like trusting yourself and really that surrender, kind of like what you said, like surrendering to the plan and do like keeping up with it with what you know you can control. Because I feel like when I started more, I started it just as like a project. It was really just meant to be something fun that I did with some friends. I did not even plan on it like being a magazine at all. It was going to be a photo shoot, and then it turned into a magazine. And then I was like, I have to make this like live online now. And then we launched it, and then everyone was asking to like buy a hard copy. And then I was like, funny story, like I don't have a hard copy for you. And so it's wild as the demand for like what you're doing and how you're serving like picks up. and trying to keep up with that. And it ends up, I feel like there's that meme or something about how you can't start a new diet or a workout or whatever when it's not a Monday. You have to wait till the next Monday comes around or till January 1st comes around. And it can be so nerve-wracking to have all of these things happen way faster than you plan. And then your goals, your timelines, whatever, are like kind of thrown into the water because now you're trying to figure out your plan for what you thought was going to be like 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So you said your word last year was surrender. Are you sticking with surrender then? You said the same energy, or are you evolving it?
I think there is some evolution in it. I think that now, as far as my word is, I guess, 2 words. It's unconditional love. I think that that's the word that I'm really pushing through into 2024 with. One, it's like that level of self-love, like unconditional self-love that I need to have for myself, but also like for the work that I do, for the people that I work with, for the students that I serve, because it can be hard being in a management position. It can be hard being a leader, a CEO, a boss, like all of these things. So I think that having that heart of unconditional love in the forefront is going to be one, what keeps me true to myself, but also what will allow people to see who I really am. I think that's my biggest thing in my journey as an entrepreneur, as a leader, right? I just want people to know who I truly am, and to like be able to vouch for me, to be able to put me in the right places, to be able to help me along my journey. So that unconditional love, I'm hoping to reciprocate and, take it all in.
I love that. Leslie, what about you? Are you a words? Are you resolutions? Are you goals? How do you take on a new year?
I kind of do a combination of things. So I try this year, I've been trying to be a lot better about looking at my entire year. Have you guys seen the viral big ass calendar that's on TikTok?
I just made one today.
Okay.
Wait, what
Okay.
does it look like? I'm not on TikTok. Is that lame?
Okay.
I wait for the like secondhand trickles.
Reels on
Reels.
Instagram. Yeah. So if you haven't heard about it, it's like huge. It's probably like the size of my board, and the way he structures it out, it's just continuous. So each month is on one line, and then the weekends are shaded in different colors. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, you're like, oh my God, a year goes by so quickly. Like you can only do so much and you can't focus on everything. So I've been trying to be better about like outlining my entire year as opposed to my quarters, because I'm like such a quarter girly, like still coming from like the corporate like world, but it's like it's not working for me as much as I wish it was. I feel like I'm spreading myself so thin. So I've been looking at it at like an annual way, but I also, one of my words was actually, I also do words as well, but is actually love. And I love that you said unconditional love. I'm like, maybe I'll upgrade my word. Because I feel the same way. And I feel like if you kind of give what you receive type of energy, and I'm very like woo-woo astrology energy, whatever, like into that. And so I feel like it's 100%. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been leaning towards. And I've seen like good things happen. It's almost like the perspective mindset of like just seeing like the good versus the bad, or like instead of saying like what's the worst that could happen, being like what's the best that can happen type of thing, just that language change is just like so meaningful. So I think I might upgrade my word to unconditional love, because I love that.
To your point, Leslie, we work with a coach. His name is Coach Rick, with our leadership staff, because we all have some development, whether it's personal or professional. And sometimes your boss is not the right person to do those things. So having a third party allows for like a lot of clarity. But my mantra, like kind of growing up, my mom previously, like she was sick, she had cancer, and it was always expect the worst, hope for the best. And that's like what got me through. But I was challenged to say, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? Because if you have expectations and preparations are different. And I think that kind of goes into what you were saying with that growth mindset that we as entrepreneurs, as leaders, like really have to have. So that was like a really good shift. And I know we're kind of like playing with words here too, but those are two really powerful words that have been like resonating with me and helping me kind of look more on the bright side of things and be more optimistic.
I love that. That's awesome. And I feel like this year when I was looking at my goals and mapping it out, because so in our last meeting we had Murdoch come in and like we had these 10 questions and like really looking at like how you're going to achieve the goals. I think for me in the past, like, and I've kind of stepped back from resolutions, if you will, because I think that the word approach really helps like change your mindset or your approach to things. And I think like at the end of the day, that's kind of what a resolution is. Like you're working towards like a positive change in your life, whatever that looks like. I think that resolutions, they'll always have like this external, normally like weight loss centric whatever to it. And so I love how much people are choosing words, because it's something you can say all year long. It's like it's like a light you can just have right there that you see every day. And I also love that you're looking at the whole year, because I think for me, as I was looking at my goals for the year, I started like looking at like the whole year in total. I don't have the viral calendar apparently, because I just found out about it, but I printed off 12 months and I have like goals mapped out for each month, because I think I can't remember who said it, or if I just like heard it. I've been watching so many like YouTube how to like have your best year yet things, because I'm really on this grind of wanting to like wake up early and like, I don't know, just be an it girl and all the
Have
good
you
ones.
heard the Mel Robbins one? The Mel Robbins podcast recently on 2024?
No, I haven't.
You should listen to that one if you're like planning it out. She gives like really good tips on that. So
Ooh,
just
okay.
add that to your list of things to listen to and watch.
Yeah. We'll drop the link in the show notes. So Leslie, send that over, please. But India, welcome back. We missed you dearly.
Hopefully I'm good this time.
Oh no, you're so good, girl. So we were talking a little bit about like if you're picking a word for the year. Are you a words person? Are you goals? Are you resolutions? Are you 52-week calendar?
No. I'm a goals type of person. This year, last year I did a digital vision board, which really helped because I set it as my like background to my iPad and my phone. This year I'm gonna try the bingo board. So we'll see. My friend told me I need more specific goals. So I'm gonna try to get more specific with my goals so I can accomplish them.
Yeah, I love the bingo board. I also saw one where you put your goals like on like your favorite drinks or whatever. Some people did like full bottles of whatever. And so you open each bottle like as you achieve your goals, which I thought was really cool. But I love the bingo card. So are you doing it with friends, or how did you put that together?
I am doing it with a group of my friends. So we're gonna do it tonight, actually. So we're all gonna get our goals together. I have like a couple of mine. I don't think I have enough to fill my bingo board yet, but I'll get there tonight. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's always safe to give yourself like a couple of gimmies in there, because the bingo board is big. Like I have like, I think 3 to 5 goals. I'm doing one for the business and one for like personal. And 20, like, I mean, I can't, 25 for a bingo
yes,
card?
25. Yep.
That's a lot.
It is. Some will be my like main focus goals. I think I'm gonna line them up so I like get bingo on the ones that I really want. So yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna do it. But some will be smaller than others. So
yeah. No.
Is there a prize for whoever gets bingo first?
No, but there will be now.
Okay.
Now that you said you're going to line them up, yeah, you might as well be the one to bring up a prize. That's awesome. That's so cool. What is a must-have for you guys when you look at like setting goals? Like for me, it's always like it has to be an active verb for me when I set them. And I normally don't do numbers. I'm very bad about like setting very like quantitative. I'm trying better to do that. And I think more of my milestones to certain goals have that now. But what is a must for you when you're looking at your goals?
They have to be attainable. So I try I don't get to that many details with my goals yet, but at least it has to be attainable. Something that's not just too extreme for me and for me to do in a year, so to speak. So.
For me, sorry, do you want to go ahead?
Go ahead.
For me, in previous years, I usually have like a goal and then little sub goals that go along with it. And this past year, I've been learning a lot about like habits and like habit stacking. So instead of having like things I need to check off before then, I think I'm going to try to kind of change the wording a little bit and be like, what habits do I need to go along to go with this? Like, so who do I want to be and what do their habits look like for me to go and try to achieve those goals? Because it's like, you got to embody what you want to be. So it's like the only way you could do that is by setting a bunch of habits, which is so fun sometimes to build. But
I love that you say like thinking about who embodies that already, because I mean, I think role models are, I don't know, like it gives you like a visual, tangible person to kind of like align yourself with in some ways, even if it's just like certain aspects of them. And so I love that you said like envisioning like who you want to be and like what that person does. That's awesome. I love that.
I was going to say about goals, like it's honestly like as soon as you said that question, I was like, oh, shoot, like goals for me, I think it's an interesting relationship, right? Because you might set goals and then you might not achieve those goals. And for me, like I am a self-proclaimed perfectionist, high achiever. And so it seems as though the ceiling just always gets higher. And when I achieve a goal, I don't sit in it long enough to be like, that was really great. You did it. You achieved it. You're good. And instead, I'm automatically thinking about that next goal. And I explained it to my therapist is like, I feel like I'm running backwards up an escalator. Like it's going, and I'm just running on it. And the goals get higher and higher, and the ceiling gets higher and higher. So I think that one of my biggest goals this year is really just going to be to sit in my achievements, right? Whether it's a goal that I have like predetermined or not, I think I owe it to myself, again, with that unconditional love, showing myself unconditional love, is just to sit in that and enjoy it. So I think like I remember making 5-year plans, like setting out all my goals, and never turned out the way that I expected it to. So maybe I need to redefine what these goals are, or like what my relationship is with them. But when you asked that question, I was like really, really stumped. I was like, I couldn't even tell you an answer.
I mean, that's okay. Maybe you should, okay, I just thought of this and I might do this for myself now. It's not a bingo card, but it's kind of like that reward. Do you guys remember those? I don't know, I feel like they were on Tumblr, like when boyfriends and girlfriends would go to college and they'd put open when you get to your and all those things. Maybe like making those, but like for your goals, open when you XYZ, and then put like a gift card in it for like a massage or like a Grubhub gift card. So that way, like when you open it, it's like already like built in time to like celebrate you.
Yeah. I like that. I really, really like that. And that I think can also kind of tie into your love language too. Like if your love language is gift giving, give yourself a gift. Mine is like quality time. So maybe it's like going out and doing something by myself to treat myself,
Yes.
So I like that.
I love that. That's awesome. So I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. So we're all going through 1828 together. How have you felt this workshop, this cohort, and like the people that we're going through alongside it with? How have you seen maybe your perspective on 2024, what you hope to do, people who you hope to meet? How has 1828 shaped any of that?
I think for me, it's probably, oh, go ahead, India.
Go ahead, Leslie.
I was gonna say, I think for me, it's just the opportunity to meet with, get the opportunity to be able to network with a ton of people. I feel like IndyHub has a huge network that is just like, I've heard of these people. I've seen them on like the IBJ 30 under 30 or 40 under 40, and being able to have the opportunity to connect with a lot of these people has been awesome. And then also just I didn't realize, I guess, I didn't know what to expect. And I really enjoyed that they have put a project together to get to know the neighborhoods, because I don't know if I just didn't know what we were going to be doing, and then really having the emphasis on Indy, because I feel like Indy has a bad rep sometimes. I'm just like, I love Indy. I'm an Indy diehard. You know what I mean? Like, and just seeing like the rich culture that there is, and them being able to expose that to us, because there was so much I didn't know about, from like even the Speedway and Southports and how that came to be, and Unigov and all that stuff. So it's been really interesting.
I second everything Leslie said. I didn't know what to expect in 1828 too, but it was a few people that I would see around, but didn't have a relationship or a way to like directly network with them. So 1828 has done that for me. And then as far as like the 2024 going into that one with my goals, definitely Murdoch laying out how to plan and how to write good goals helped. And I'm going to bring my notes tonight when I make my bingo card. So it's been an overall good experience to, like Leslie said, network directly with people. So
That's awesome. And I feel like too, being able to go through it like as a group, and Allie and I ended up meeting up last Friday night. We had a date and we set a bunch of goals together, and we went through all 10 of the questions together and like shared it for like accountability and like challenging each other, because she was like, that goal sounds really vague. How will you know if you achieved it? And I was like, I don't know. I need to revise it, and vice versa. And so I love that we're in a group with a bunch of people who are similar to us in the ways that they want to put energy into something, especially something so community centric. And yeah, I'm so geeked about Murdoch's list. I feel like I want to like apply it like slightly in different ways to like different projects I'm doing. Just so like clean and concise. I love clean and concise.
Like the ritual part, I was like, oh, I need to get back to like doing like really good rituals and like the affirmations. He just had it so down, and I was just like, how do you just
Yes.
yeah.
It was so good. I wrote it down. I feel like I've said it a few times. I love the revolution one. Like, I'm a revolution and I am worth, wait, no. Now I'm embarrassed. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was I am worth the revolution. And that is the part that I love. I am worth the revolution. I love it.
think, yeah, just Ari, what you were saying, like with 1828, just realizing that I am not alone. I think the entrepreneurial journey can be very, very lonesome. You might even meet other entrepreneurs, but if you guys aren't doing the same thing, it's like, how much information and knowledge, can you take and it be applicable to what you do?
Right.
So I feel like, just being in a community of people that, like you said, are on like the same wavelength, and knowing that I'm not alone in this journey. I have grown up in Indianapolis, like my entire life. So it's really great to see, this new generation of leaders come up. I think that's one of the bigger concerns that I have for our city is like, who's next? Who's going to be taking over? What kind of voice do they have? Like, what kind of community is there? Because I want the next generation to be better set up even than what we were. And I just don't necessarily see that happening. So someone, like you said, has to do the revolutionary work. And I think it's really great to be a part of a community that has participants that are willing to do that work, not just while we're in 1828, but in our careers and our lives and for years to come. So that's my biggest like takeaway from 1828.
That's awesome. I love it. Before we wrap up and dive into our digging deeper segment of this, do you guys have anything else you want to add? Anything that our community should be on the lookout for as you are thriving and succeeding in this next coming year? Y'all, we had so many wins and highs at the last meeting. I know we have some right now.
I will put in a shameless plug. Follow us at Listen to Our Future on Instagram, on Facebook. If you want to join our newsletter, we got a newsletter popping, we got a podcast popping, and we're hiring. So we have lots of positions that we're hiring for. So just go check us out. Do a lot of good work.
Thank you. This was your plug moment, y'all.
Thank you.
Leslie?
Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and plug colorescreative.co. Don't forget the ES in colores. Yeah, we, like I said earlier, we're creative communications partners. So we partner with nonprofits and candidates and campaigns who are doing really hard work out there to get awesome people elected or get organizations going and helping them out that are going to do really awesome things for our community. And don't forget to register to vote. Don't forget to register to vote because that's coming up next. Yeah, the big 2024. So get registered, get your family registered. That's my plug.
No, I love it. And if you're moving, update your address and your license and all the things. That was like my number one task when we moved this year. So don't forget that. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining. I know India sends her regards. It looks like she had to pop back out for a second. But if you want to hear more from these lovely ladies, head over to our Patreon where you can listen as we dig deeper. Thank you so much.